The TBC waiting room is realer than you think, and in fact, the Burning Crusade is launching much sooner than everybody thought. When you looked at the roadmap back during BlizzCon, or in this case the Warcraft Direct in 2024, we learned a lot of things in the fact that TBC was coming late this year, early next year. But that timeline has been accelerated rather aggressively. Now typically, in Anniversary you got a couple months for each phase. It wasn't exactly a full 3 months or 5 months like back in 2019, but it wasn't a singular month, and it wasn't 40 days. But as of right now, Phase 4 is dropping an Anniversary 40 days after the launch of Phase 3. That's right, we got Blackwing Lair for 40 days. And now we are going into ZG. Now keep in mind, ZG has always been a complementary raid. It's always been something that goes along with Blackwing Lair, kind of like a catch-up raid to let people catch up with the gear so you don't have to actually go into MC and things of that nature. But the roadmap itself specifically stated in the summer, towards the middle of summer. And Phase 4 is coming out in spring. Now, everything I'm going to show you is based off the fact that the timeline is being accelerated by give or take about 40 days to about a month and a half, give or take. And that puts TBC's launch on November 20th. And I'm going to show you all my math. I think I'm correct. Now, as you guys can see here, Zul'Gurub, Nightmare Dragons, and Tier 0.5, Classic Anniversary Phase 4 releases week of May 1st. Now, new phases drop on Thursdays for the most part. Now, the raids might not launch until the Tuesday following, but the raids and the phase and everything launches on a Thursday for the most part. It's been like that for a very long time. So all dates are Thursdays. So right here, we have the TBC launch timeline. 40 days between phases. March 20th, Phase 3, Blackwing Lair, and then, the PvP, and then the PvP rank 11 changes happened a couple of weeks after. But then we have May 1st, Phase 4 ZG. Again, not super surprising, them accelerating the timeline makes sense. They said from the very beginning that the entirety of Anniversary was an accelerated product, an accelerated timeline. It wasn't meant to last 2 years or 3 years. It was meant to be 12 months or less, give or take. And it's gonna be just about 9 months, 10 months. Okay, now I gotta actually fucking check when it actually launched. And with the date for TBC's launch itself being November 20th, counting the pre-batch, we are looking at, like I said, 10 to 11 months of Anniversary, which fits in perfectly with the timeline they wanted. Now, June 12th, Phase 5, AQ40/AQ20, the war effort, all of that. If we do an exact 40 days, 40 days after that, we will get to July 24th. Again, I'm kind of changing the dates a little bit. It's not exactly 40 days. Sometimes it's 42 or 38 or whatnot, because patches come out on Thursdays. You then get Phase 6, Naxxramas, and the Scourge Invasion. And if they're keeping with this full 40 days timeline for the most part, September 4th, TBC pre-patch, then October 16th, TBC launch. Now, I'm going to stop right here and tell you all that this is not correct. It's going to be November 20th, give or take. I might be off by about a month, but it's going to be in that exact time frame. So what do I mean by the first set of dates I showed you isn't correct? The 40 days isn't going to be exactly 40 days for every single phase. We are going to probably get 2 to 3 weeks to a month longer for Phase 5 and Phase 6 because of the war effort for Ahn'Qiraj and opening the gates, as well as the Scourge Invasion. People typically get time before they fully launch into the brand new raid, letting people catch up, get some gear, get the shoulder enchants, get the things they need, so they can be prepared and ready to dive into the new content. So they're not going to, from the get-go, give us everything in exactly 40 days. And in my opinion, Phase 5 and Phase 6 is going to get an extra 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a full month extra, but unrealistic. I expect the Scourge Invasion to be 2 weeks, and I expect Ahn'Qiraj's war effort to be about 3 weeks. That timeline could be slightly longer for the war effort. It might be 4 weeks there, but the Scourge Invasion will be 3 weeks max, and I'm basing this off the maximum. So 3 weeks for both, give or take, in this equation. Which then takes me onto the other facet. TBC's pre-patch is not going to be 40 days. There's no universe in which they give us almost 6 weeks of TBC pre-patch. We are going to be getting 3 weeks, potentially 4 weeks. But 3 weeks is more realistic because pre-patches don't really last forever in the most part. And with accelerated timeline and of us getting 12 months of TBC in this context as well, they're not going to drag it out forever. So June 12th, Phase 5, AQ40/20, and the war effort. I believe this truly to be the case, give or take. The weeks might be 1 week off, further back or further ahead, but about this. August 14th is what I think to be Phase 6, Nax and the Scourge Invasion. I think we're going to get 2 to 3 weeks of the Scourge Invasion, then about 4 weeks, about 5.5-ish weeks of Nax Rammus, about that 40-day period, which then takes us into October 9th or 16th, which is TBC pre-patch. Again, depends if they're going to give Nax an extra week or not. But we are getting TBC pre-patch on October 16th, and I'll bet my left nutsack that I'm correct on this timeline. I have correctly predicted a lot of Classics timelines, almost every sword phase. I kind of didn't really predict Classic Plus, sadly, but hey, you make some, you lose some. But every date I've been correct on, for the most part, plus or minus 1 week. Which then takes us to November 20th, TBC long. Now, TBC is going to be a huge event, a huge ordeal, and people are clamoring for it. They're begging for it. They want TBC already. And a huge portion of the Classic player base is treating Vanilla WoW, Anniversary WoW as a TBC waiting room. We know that Blizzard is rushing through Anniversary. 12 months from the original timeline was kind of like a, well, damn, this is fast, but okay, maybe it'll be 15 months, maybe they'll give us a bit more time. But the fact that they're going through it so quickly makes me wonder if there's a reason for this. We recently got the updated UI in the character select scene, and now there's a big shop button sitting right there at the top. And that makes me think, are they going to be doing another TBC bundle? Here's a level boost, a mount. I'm not saying that's going to happen for sure. But then at the exact same time, we recently had gold swapping get banned. Not in retail, because retail is cross-server, cross-realm, and all that stuff, but in Classic. So are we going to be getting a WoW token as well in TBC Anniversary? I'm not trying to put words in Blizzard's mouth here, this is just my speculation, but they're going through this so fast that it's kind of curious why they're splitzing through it, why they're blitzing through it. Now, there's been a lot of drama and controversy from PvP to MC and Blackwing Lair and people just being uber sweaty and people constantly complaining. And to be fair, I'm going to be honest, if the audience and the player base isn't complaining, it's not really the World of Warcraft player base. It's one of the most complaining, whiny player bases. Heck, I complain and whine a lot about World of Warcraft, and I play this game all the goddamn time. I play this more than anything. It's my most played game of all time, not counting Warcraft 3. Or maybe League of Legends, but honestly, it's a toss-up between those three. And honestly, rather than solve these issues, and a lot of these are somewhat major, mostly minor issues, they can just send people straight to Era. Will they do a full new Era server, so Anniversary Era, or they're just going to send everybody to Classic Era? I'm not really sure what direction they're going to go. That's going to be kind of interesting, because Classic Anniversary has almost no changes whatsoever for the most part, and Classic Anniversary has quite a bit of little changes. Nothing super major, but it's got a decent amount of changes that make the game better and smoother. So are they going to make a brand new Era server, or are we all just getting banished straight to Era? And honestly, I kind of think they might do fresh Era servers, mainly because last time they charged you $10 to copy you paste your character to keep it in Classic and go to TBC. And they made a lot of money with that service. So I wouldn't be surprised if they offer that service again, because cash is king, and Blizzard's got to justify Classic's existence with fat stacks of cash. And hey, the cloning service, it is what it is. And then for the most part, they can just send everybody else straight to TBC. Go have fun, go grind, go do your heroic dungeons, go enjoy the world, prep a Wrath of the Lich King Anniversary, and then guess what? Maybe we'll get Cataclysm Anniversary, or will they reset everything at the end? Who knows? That's a whole different topic, video, and series. But if Blizzard really wants to make money, add the /spit emote back to the store for $10, and you'll make more money than you know what to do with, because I'm promising you everybody's gonna buy that emote so they can spit on people who buy the bundle or the WoW token. Actually, to be fair, the amount of gold buying happening, I think if people do buy the WoW token, nobody's gonna say anything because they're all gonna be buying the WoW token as well. Nonetheless, is blitzing through Anniversary the right call for Blizzard? I can't say that, but honestly for me, I love TBC so much that I'm really excited to dive into it, and I hope you guys are as well. So I can't wait to enjoy a nice TBC winter with everybody. So thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. If you hated it, understandable. dislike this video, subscribe, follow me on Twitch. I stream 4 days a week, and be a dedicated hater and hate on everything I do. Don't half-ass that shit. Don't be a coward. Be a dedicated hater. Thank you all. Ebenhard out. Peace.